Welcome back to my Road to Completion Guide for Dark Souls 3. This is episode 14. Let's go ahead and throw on the symbol of avarice. And then of course with our covetous gold serpent ring and our crystal sage's rapier, plus our stats, we have an item discovery of 307, okay? I want you guys to farm for one particular covenant item in this area, and that's called the sunlight metal. I need you guys to farm for 27 sunlight metals, okay? And then we're also going to be picking up some souls as we kill this enemy. You should also leave this area with roughly 1.6 million souls, okay? Yes, you did hear me correctly. It's 1.6 million. I think I leave with 1,584,876. So again, it doesn't have to be exact, just roughly 1.6 million souls. So the strategy for this farming route is really simple. I want you to rest at the bonfire. Okay, that's going to spawn the enemy in. Go to the stairs. Fire off one soul spear, and then I want you guys to back roll 3 times. That's going to put you beside the bonfire. Then turn around, target, fire another soul spear. You may have to back up a little bit depending on where the enemy is. Grab the sunlight metal or whatever he drops. He's not always going to drop sunlight metals. Grab whatever he drops and then immediately rest at the bonfire, okay? Now, if you guys are lucky enough to pick up a sunlight metal, I want you guys to quit the game. Okay, you don't have to save, just quit. I want you to notice something. I'm not editing anything here, guys. Notice when I spawn back in, I'm going to do the same strategy. Notice the souls in the bottom right were the same as they were before I quit the game. So I haven't did any editing here. And notice that a lot of times when you quit the game, guys, after you get a covenant item and you load back in, you see that another one dropped. Okay, so that's a little bit of an advantage for you guys. Every time you see, I'm quitting again there. Every time you get a sunlight metal or any covenant items that we're going to be farming for here in a second, always go back to the bonfire, rest. As soon as you get up from resting or whatever, quit the game, continue back in, and hopefully you guys get lucky enough to grab another covenant item. And I do want to stress, guys, that it does not happen that way every time, but when it does work, it saves you guys a ton of time, okay? So keep that in mind. Notice there I have my 27 sunlight metals. I have roughly 1.6 million souls. I'm a little bit less, but that's fine. And then once we have all that stuff, guys, we can travel over to the Keep Ruins bonfire, and then I want you guys to set up a save. But I want you to notice the time on my save, okay? You guys remember the previous episode when I quit out at the very end, I think I was at 3 hours and 40 minutes. Now I'm at 5 hours and 40 minutes. So that farming route took me roughly 2 hours to complete. Now, based on my practice attempts, I have seen that previous farming route have a variance of about an hour, 30 minutes on the high side, 30 minutes on the low side, which means it could take an hour and a half. It could take 2.5 hours, guys, to farm that route. Based on my test, for me, it took, right there in the middle, 2 hours. So just keep that in mind when you guys are farming, okay? So this is the second route. The item that we're looking for at this point is called the Wolf's Blood Swordgrass. I need you guys to farm 27 of these items. You already have one in your inventory. So when you guys get these 27, you're going to have 28 out of the 30 that you need. And we want to leave this area with roughly 2 million souls. I think I leave with 1,991,553 souls. So let's talk about the strategy for this farming route, okay? Notice that I'm focusing on the enemies on the left. See the tile that I'm standing on? That's about where you want to be. And your soul spear will actually cut through both of the enemies on the left. Then just sidestep to the right and kill the enemy on the right. Now keep in mind, the enemy on the right will sometimes fall off of this bridge. So as soon as you kill the enemy on the right, you have to push on, guys, and grab the item that he drops, okay? Because if it's a Swordgrass and you need it, if he falls off, the item's going to fall off with it. So you always want to push the enemy on the right, grab the item before he falls off, and then wrap around and grab the other 2, okay? Once you guys have exactly 28 of the Swordgrass, then we can go ahead and travel to the next area. So at this point, what we need to do, guys, is go back to Farron Shrine and sell all this random stuff that's been dropping off these enemies that's not been covenant items. Make sure you guys put back on the Knight Helm, though, so you don't have to worry about the symbol of avarice taking away your health. And then let's go ahead and travel back to Farron Shrine. Once we get there, let's go ahead and set up a save to lock in our progress. And I don't want you guys to accidentally sell something that we don't want you to sell, right? Notice my time there, 6 hours and 42 minutes. That means the previous farming route took me roughly an hour. So before we visit the Shrine Handmaid and we start selling a bunch of stuff, I know that's what our normal routine is. Let's come over here and talk to Andre first. Let's go into Reinforced Weapon. I want you guys to find the Long Sword +4 and I want you guys to reinforce that until it gets to longsword +9. You will have the option to take it to +10. Do not do that, guys. We want to reinforce our staff to +10, not the sword, okay? If for whatever reason you guys accidentally take it to +10, then I want you to go back to your safety save, okay? That's one of the reasons why I had you guys set up the safety save when you came back to Firelink. Notice here that I'm working on the Court Sorcerer staff, and I will take that all the way to +10, and that's going to pop a trophy called Supreme Weapon Reinforcement. See how we have the Titanite slab at the top there, guys? Boom, +10. There's your trophy. And now we have the Storyteller staff. It's currently at +3. I want you guys to push it all the way to +9, okay? Then once you guys have that done, we're going to allot our Estus again. We want to give 7 uses to our regular Estus flask and 4 uses to our Ashen Estus flask. Once you guys have completed everything with Andre, head back over and talk to the Shrine Handmaid. We need to sell all that random stuff in our inventory, guys. We need the souls for it. We're about to do a massive level up at the Firekeeper. So go ahead and sell all the items that you see me sell. If for whatever reason you guys accidentally sell something that I don't sell, go back to your safety save, repeat the steps that we just did, right, with Andre and everything, and then come back and sell the items correctly. Then when you guys are done with this, we'll head over to the Firekeeper and level up. All right, guys, now that you have everything sold, we're going to head over to the Firekeeper. We want to level up 4 stats, okay? We want to level up Vigor, Endurance, Strength, and Intelligence, okay? We're going to take our Vigor to +25, And I think here I only take it to 24 initially, but I come back and give it one more stat point. So you guys can go ahead and do 25 there. Endurance is going to be 15. Strength is going to be plus 40. And then intelligence is going to be plus 60. Now, if for whatever reason you guys are still short on souls, just go back to either one of those farming routes we were just at, guys, and farm some souls. I would encourage you guys to go to the one that's in Lothric Castle, though, just because it's only one enemy and he does give you a pretty substantial amount of souls. Plus, he drops things you can sell back at the Shrine Handmaid. So just keep repeating that process, right? Farming, selling stuff at the Shrine Handmaid until you're able to get to those stats. And then come back and meet us here. We want to talk to Orbeck and buy some sorceries. So you guys go ahead and select learn sorceries, and I want you guys to buy everything that he has. Okay, by the time you guys do that, okay, you combine those with the ones you already have in your inventory. You guys will have 22 of the 34 sorceries that you need to get that trophy later on in the game. Now there's a few more items I want you guys to purchase before we leave Firelink Shrine and get back to farming. So we'll come up here, talk to the Shrine Handmaid, select purchase item. If you guys scroll all the way to the bottom of the inventory there, all the way down to the bottom, the row just before you guys hit the bottom, you'll see the ring I'm talking about. It's the 4th slot over. There it is right there. The life ring. Make sure you guys buy that. That's going to be your 25th ring out of 107. Notice that I'm not buying the Horsehoof ring. I'm skipping over that ring and going straight to the Lloyd's Shield ring. That's going to be your 26th ring out of 107. The reason why we're not buying the Horsehoof ring is because we got that ring for free when we killed Patches in a previous episode. He dropped that ring for us, so there's no need to buy it a second time. Go ahead and buy 25 Homeward Bones, and then I want you guys to also pick up the Undead Hunter Charm. Grab 3 of those. All right, guys, we're finally done with Firelink Shrine, at least for now. Let's head on toward the bonfire. Let's switch out our Sage Ring for our Magic Clutch Ring. That's going to allow you guys to farm quicker in the next area, because with the Magic Clutch Ring plus your stats, you're going to be able to kill those enemies in one hit, okay? Then I want you guys to fast travel over to the Farron Keep Perimeter Bonfire and then set up a save. All right, guys, first things first, let's go ahead and put back on the Symbol of Avarice so we can have better item discovery. And now let's talk about the strategy, okay? Notice what I'm doing here, triangle. I'm two-handing my Court Sorcerer staff. Now it's at level 10, okay? I'm gonna come up here. As soon as I get to the second arch, I'm gonna hit L2 to buff. With that buff, plus the fact that your staff is reinforced to plus 10, and your magic ring, your magic clutch ring, and your level 60 stats, you guys will be able to kill these enemies in one hit. Now what you're seeing me do at this point is I'm trying to kill both the enemies at once. That is possible. You're basically shooting between these two trees right here, and when they line up, you can hit them both at the same time. That's the good thing about the Soul Spear sorcery, guys. It actually cuts through enemies. It does not stop at the first enemy. So you can use that to your advantage to make this farming route a little bit quicker. I was hoping that I had a clip in this edit showing that it's possible to kill the two enemies at once with the Soul Spear, but unfortunately, guys, I left that clip out for whatever reason. But it will help you guys a great deal if you can kill them both at once. Because notice what I'm doing here, right? I'm buffing the weapon, but then I have to wait for the enemies to come up the path. If I can fire one Soul Spear here and cut down both enemies, I'm done with the farming route. You know, I got to go up there and get my items, but I'm done. But if you can't, if you only kill one enemy, you normally will have to buff a second time, which takes a little bit of your time, and then you have to fire another Soul Spear. And then sometimes that enemy will notice you and start running around the area. All that stuff kills efficiency, guys. If you can kill them both at once, that's great, okay? Notice my 8 pale tongues. See, I have about 85,000 souls in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. So let's head back to the bonfire. At this point, we just need to attune another spell. So we're going to be keeping the Soul Spear, just adding in Hidden Body. When you guys have that done, let's fast travel over to the Catacombs of Karthus bonfire. As soon as you guys reach that bonfire, go ahead and set up a safety save, and then we're going to set up for the next farming route. So I want you guys to notice my in-game time here. It's about 7 hours and 9 minutes. This is the farming route that's going to bloat your run, okay? It's going to be the one that you hate. Trust me, I hated this one. I've platinumed this game 3 times, so I have done this farming route 3 times, okay? It sucks, guys. The covenant item that we're looking for is called the Vertebra Shackle. You guys need to farm for 27 of these. You already have 1 in your inventory. That pushes your total to 28. We got to get 30 total. I'm going to have you guys pick up the other 2 Vertebra Shackles in subsequent playthroughs. But for now, I just need you guys to farm for 27 Vertebra Shackles. Right now, we're offline. We cannot be invaded by another human player around the world. We're not playing the multiplayer aspect of this game, if you will, okay? If you guys want to play online, you can, of course, do that. And there are ways that you can farm for these covenant items while you play online, but it's kind of hit or miss, guys. I mean, who knows how long they're gonna have the servers up for this game, right? So I have to show you guys the method where you can farm offline, because this will always exist. But if you guys want to know how to farm these items online, I'll have it down below in my pinned comment. I'll have some links to some articles you guys can read up on. And you can, of course, do YouTube searches. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there that shows you guys how to farm this stuff online. I did not want to include it in the guide because I didn't want to confuse anybody. And like I said, I don't know how long these servers will be available. And then from the forums that I was reading, the people who are farming these items online, it still takes quite some time because you don't always get invaded. Sometimes you have to wait like 20 minutes to connect with another player and, do whatever it is you need to do to pick up the item. So in my opinion, that's just not consistent enough for a guide, if that makes sense. But if you guys want to break off and do that, then feel free. Now, at some point during this farming route, you guys are going to run into an inventory issue, and I want to show that to you here. Notice that I'm just casting Hidden Body. This is the strategy, by the way. Cast Hidden Body, wait for the ball to roll by, and then just head through the tunnel. Switch to your soul spear and then kill these enemies, right? A lot of times you can kill them with 1 soul spear if you can line them up like that if they freeze. I missed that one guy, but a lot of times you can kill them both at the same time. But notice that prompt. You're unable to pick up any more of the Titanite shards because your current inventory is full. If that happens, guys, you have to run back to the bonfire. I'm just waiting for this ball to come back through. Making sure I don't get hit. That ball does a lot of damage, guys, so be careful about that. We're going to run back to the bonfire, and then we're going to travel to Firelink Shrine. So once we make it back to Firelink Shrine, we need to organize our storage box. So go ahead and rest at the bonfire, choose option 3, then hit R1 on your controller to tab over. That's all your gems and your shards and everything. We need the first 2, guys, Titanite Shard and Large Titanite Shard. And I want you guys to click R3 on your controller to set up auto refill. So let me explain what auto refill does, okay? Every time you rest at a bonfire, if you have auto refill turned on, the game is going to dip into your storage box and pull items from your storage box into your regular inventory, and it's going to do it up to the max amount. So for instance, like the Titanite shards and the large Titanite shards, you can hold 99 of those in your inventory at once, okay? All the rest of them have been going into your storage box, and you guys have been farming for quite some time, so you're maxed out, okay? So all I'm doing is I'm resting at the bonfire, getting 99 of each one of these items back in my inventory, and then selling them to the shrine handmade, and then going back, resting at the bonfire, and repeating that process until we're completely sold out of large Titanite shards and Titanite shards. I think I'm going to demonstrate it for you guys one more time, and this will be the clip where I'm down to 0. Once you guys are down to 0, you can of course get back to farming. And then you'll be able to farm for a long time, guys, until you have to do this process again. And you should have to do it at least one more time before your farming is done. So see, I'm completely out of everything, right? Nothing's in my storage box, nothing's in my inventory, and now we're back to farming. So just go ahead and fast travel back to the Catacombs of Karthus and continue. Now I'm going to go ahead and transition to the part of the edit where I pick up my very last Vertebra Shackle. Remember, you guys are only farming for 27, but since you already have one in your inventory, this should put you at 28 total, and I'll show you that when we hit the next bonfire, that I do have 28. Just trying to get my double kill here if possible. If they line up for you that way, guys, go ahead and shoot that Soul Spear at them. It'll cut through both of them, remember? And you guys can be a little bit more efficient with your farming. Come through here. And I'm pretty sure that I show you guys at this point that I have 28. I think I rest by accident. Then I hop back up and I'll show you that I have 28. Yep. See right there, guys, 28 Vertebra Shackle. Remember, only farming for 27. You already have one in your inventory. That puts you guys at 28. Now we can go ahead and fast travel back over to Firelink Shrine. All right, guys, once you make it back to Firelink Shrine, we're going to take the Symbol of Avarice off so we don't, accidentally kill ourselves while we're talking to these NPCs. Come over here and talk to this guy. He's going to give you 3 things, very important for the run. The first one's going to be a gesture called Collapse. That's going to be your 21st gesture out of 33. He's also going to give you a heavy gem. That's going to be number 10 of 15. And then the Farron Ring, that's going to be the 27th ring out of 107.
Let's take all a right. And he ate so many, and they made him such as a lord. At the foot of it was used to, if you've... You haven't given up, you can make better. I don't need it. The Undead, sworn by wolf's blood. Joyous bunch, really. Gaining admission to inside their keep, even accursed. I pity the son. Gaining admission inside even a cursed pipe. You oft so that's how that I failed for helping them.
So now we want to go over there and talk to the Shrine Handmaid again. Of course, we want to sell some more of these extra items in your inventory. When it comes to the quantity of the items, guys, don't really concern yourself with that because the quantities may not match up because some of these items that we're selling were random drops from the enemies that you guys were farming. Like, for instance, this gem coming up, right? This heavy gem, I have 2, but I'm going to leave 1. See that? So if you have 10 heavy gems, you can sell 9, but you need to leave 1, okay? That's the only thing I want you guys to notice while we're selling these items. When you guys are done, I'll come back in with some commentary. So this is the first part of the run where I have no idea how many souls everybody has. Up until this point, I've been able to pretty much predict it. You know, if I had 20,000, you guys maybe had 18, maybe had 22, but you should be close. But because that previous farming route, guys, when we were hunting down those shackles, because it has such a variance on the time it takes to farm those, some of you guys might have got it in 3 hours. Some of you, it might have took, 5 hours. So that means some of you had more to sell to the Shrine Handmaid than others, okay? So we're just going to level up our attunement to plus 18 just to be safe. I know that no matter what, everybody can get to plus 18 without having to go out there and farm again. So just take your attunement to level 18. And at this point, all we're doing is preparing ourselves for episode 15, okay? When we start episode 15, it's going to kick off with a boss fight. So I want you guys to be geared up and ready. Notice that we are not using our longsword. We're doubling up with our staffs. We're getting back on all of our gear. And then we're going to switch out our rings. We're going to throw back on the sage ring and then all of our blue sorcery rings. Once you guys have all that set up, let's go ahead and fast travel over to the Church of Yorshka bonfire. Now, if you guys remember in a previous episode, we opened up a gate in this area, and I told you guys that it was going to be a shortcut from the bonfire, and this is that route, okay? We don't have to go around Irithyll to get to the fog gate. We just come up here through the shortcut. You'll see it up here in a second. Notice I am putting on hidden body because there are some enemies up here. See the gate right there? Boom. Go through the gate, go up the stairs. There's going to be 2 enemies. I want you guys to kill these 2 enemies. And as soon as you're done taking these 2 enemies out, go ahead and set up a safety save. And I will see you guys right back here in episode 15. You guys be good.